My question is, what would you do to convince the American people and assure the public? What priorities would you put on your first 2 years, say with Obama health care and things like that, to assure that you could continue into Congress beyond that?
Again, all you have to do is look at my record, look at my history, look at the record of all of us running, and find out where are they going to stand based on their record. With me, you never have to guess where I'm going to be on an issue because you know where I have been. I am a proven, verifiable conservative who has led on the issues of balancing our budget here, who has led on tax policy here, who's led against the fight against Obamacare, the fight for land issues. My top 3 issues when going back to Washington, D.C. is to pass a balanced budget amendment with a cut, cap, and balance of our budget, deregulation, taking the handcuffs off of our businesses and returning power to the states. Those are my top 3 priorities. But I'm not just one voice going into Congress as a freshman. I've been talking to other legislators who are considered the front runners in their races, like Matt Salmon in Arizona. I've been talking with him, and he has a lot of the same ideals that I do. George Fott in Oklahoma. So when I go back to Congress, I will be one person going in with several people working as a coalition to push forward a good conservative agenda.
You know, what I am going to focus on is getting our federal spending under control. And I appreciate what Carl said, but I think, you raise a bigger question is, how can you be effective as a freshman? And sure, it helps when you have other people, but don't think you can rely on other people being voted in. You have to be effective yourself from day one. And I think there's 2 ways as a freshman you can be effective, and that I'll be effective. One is, when you get there, you kind of carve your niche, what you're known for. And for me, I want to be the substantive guy on the economics and on the spending. And I think that's important. You have kind of 2 types of people in D.C. You have the show horses and the plow horses. I consider myself the plow horse, the detail guy, the one who wants to get in the weeds and understand the policy. And I think when you're that way and you have that reputation, you can garner a lot of respect and have a lot of influence. The second thing is, I think there's a tool that freshmen don't use enough, and that is they have an insight into the legislative process and what's coming through. And if they are in tune and can actually track these things, they can raise alarm bells on policies they know that are not right or not appropriate. I don't think our representatives do that enough. I think part of it is because maybe they don't have the expertise or the skill set, but my intention is to get in there early, even on committees I'm not, and at least watch these things going through. And when I see something bad or something wrong, if I can't directly influence it, I can at least let others know and raise the alarm bells and sound the whistle so that we can rally around and get bad legislation stopped.
Okay, well, great question. First of all, just to answer your question, I'm focused on the debt, the deficit spending, and upward movement of the economy, getting the economy back on its feet. There's 435 members of the U.S. House, and we've got to be able to send people to Washington that are going to be able to be effective immediately. I don't think we have that probationary period. We've got to make sure that we do whatever we can to send people that are going to be effective day one. I've built some very good coalitions with leadership in Washington right now. Kevin McCarthy, Paul Ryan, Peter Roskam, Eric Cantor. That's just to mention a few. They've said, Mia, we need your help in Washington to change the face of the party, change the messaging of the party. And so I know I'm going to be effective in getting there. I've built some very good coalitions. These people have not only helped out, but have donated to my campaign and are really trying to push me in the right direction. So I believe there's 435 members. I'm going to stand out.
Well, I think Jay said the right thing is you have to be known for something. You have to be known for more than being a state legislator or a mayor, although those are very admirable achievements. You have to be known for something that they care about, that your colleagues care about, that the nation cares about. And I'm known because of 36 years in energy economics. I've known because I've published books in the area. I know because universities in Massachusetts have used my books as textbooks. And I know I can go inside and start saying, look, we're at a point now in the history of our nation that you must pay attention to these things. And it would be very natural for them to come to me because I've been on the Kaparowitz Plateau. I've been in oil shale country. dealt with the public lands issues for 36 years. So I'm ready to take these things on, and I'm introducing a bill that will do it. Thank you.
Well, it's very important to be effective in Congress. And what you need to do to be effective in Congress is look at somebody's track record. If you don't have a track record, how can you know that you're going to be effective? Now, from day one, I was a very effective legislator. From the time I was a freshman, I passed very tough bills, and I built coalitions. You had to build coalitions and have the tenacity to dig your heels in and fight for what you believe in. I believe jobs and the economy are number one. That's tied directly to our spending. But Congress is a tough place to be. Washington's a tough town to work in. And it's going to take a lot more than slogans and one-liners to be effective in Washington, D.C. You have to have an in-depth knowledge of the issues. You have to have a proven track record in the trenches taking off tough subjects. I've taken off very tough subjects. I've been able to pass them. I've been able to build coalitions. That's what I do. I build coalitions, and I work hard to make sure they pass. Now, I will be effective in Washington, D.C. I already have people that know some of my prominence and some of the issues I've taken on, and I can hit the ground running, but it's the track record that you bring with you that defines the type of congressman you will be.